Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Up and Moving. My name is Jenna. I will be leading our workout today. Up and Moving was started by the graduate students in the kinesiology department at Michigan Tech, and we're just here offering some free virtual at-home workouts that you can do during the pandemic in case you aren't comfortable going back to the gym or you just feel like staying at home today. We will get started with a little bit of a warm up. I have a couple different sets of exercises that we're gonna do, upper and lower body. At the end, I have some core work, so you don't need a whole lot today. As you can see over here, I have some cans that are gonna come in place of some weights, but if you have some little dumbbells, you might wanna grab those. I always keep a chair nearby just in case I need to hold on to it for some extra stability. And then lastly, at the end, as I said, we're gonna do some core. So if you have some space on the ground, that's awesome. If it's carpeted, even better. If you wanna use a yoga mat for a little more support, you can go ahead and grab those things. Otherwise, water's always nice. And yeah, we'll get started with a little warm up in 10 seconds. All right, so we're actually gonna start our warm up with our upper body today. So have your arms up here at your side. You're gonna twist them, try to keep those elbows even with your shoulders. Push, back down, rotate them, down by your side. Again, up, rotate, try to keep those elbows and shoulders in the same spot, and a little push. Just moving all the different parts of our arms this morning. If you aren't able to do this twisting motion, if you have any shoulder pain, you can just go up, back down, and maybe at the end you start up and back down. So if this twisting is too much, you can break it up into two different movements. All right, next, we're just gonna go into some walking high knees. We'll get into a little bit more in a few seconds. So if this doesn't feel like it's warming you up, I promise we will get there. Get those arms moving a little bit too. All right, if you're not getting them all the way up to your chest, try to get a little bit higher now. If you can't get them any higher, maybe you just go a little bit faster. And good. Shake it out a little bit. Then we're gonna grab, pick which knee you wanna start with, grab that knee, give it a nice pull into your chest. So from the side, I'm here, pulling it as close as I can. Don't pull it if it hurts, just so you're getting a nice extra stretch. Hold it for a few seconds and then switch legs. So you're pulling a little bit up and a little bit towards you. After you hold it for 5 to 8 seconds, you can drop it, grab the other leg. Let's try to do 2 or 3 on each leg. If you need to hold onto the wall or something, it's okay if you only grab with one arm. Good. And once you've done your 2 to 3 on each leg, just walk it out, maybe 5 steps each leg. Make sure we're nice and warm now that we've moved a little bit deeper in our hips. Good. And if you have some space, we're just gonna jog in place. So if you wanna go forward, backward, if you wanna run in a circle, that's cool with me. If you don't have a lot of space, just stay where you're at. Get that heart rate up a little bit. Then we'll finish with some hops and we'll get into our exercises. Keep those arms moving. Don't forget about them. They need to warm up a little bit too. All right, and you can relax. Find a nice, if you're not on a flat surface, find the flattest surface you can find. We're just gonna do some hopping because we are gonna do some jump squats later on. So I want you to get a little bit more warmed up there. So if you're able to hop, we're just doing some nice little hops. If you can't hop, that's okay. Maybe we're just going up on our toes, bend those knees a little bit, a little bounce. And if you're really looking for a challenge, you can do single leg. We'll go for about 10 seconds, take a break, 10 more seconds. So if you want to do single leg, I'll let you know when. So we're going to start in 3, 2, 1. And break. And if you want to switch legs, we're going to do that in a few seconds. If you're on your double leg, you can stay there and do it again. And we'll start other leg in 3, 2, 1. And good. Nicely done. Hopefully your heart rate is at least up a little bit. Walk it out for a few seconds. Grab some water if you'd like. Then we're going to get into our first set of exercises. You don't need any weight on this first one. Just your body. All right, so we're gonna move laterally a little bit. So if you have some extra space, if you need to move around the room a little bit, find a little opening, nothing too big. We're gonna do some skater jumps. I'll show you the standard version and then the version if you aren't able to be jumping and landing on one foot, that's totally okay. Play it safe. So you just start in a nice upright position, a little bend in your knees, and you're gonna push to one side and you're gonna land. Notice how my knee is staying in line with the rest of my leg. Don't let your knee come out or come in. And then you come to the other side, and you nice, again, stick the landing, keep this knee and everything in line. And then once you feel like you're balancing okay, you can do that. If you're not able to do that, you're just gonna do a version where you're stepping. So you take a nice step and hold, nice step and hold. Still helps you work on your balance, still work on that knee control. If you have a mirror, window, something that you can see yourself in. Otherwise, if you have your camera on, you can look at yourself in the screen. So if you're okay with that, just a step and a little hold. So hold for 1 to 2 seconds. Let's try to do 8 on each side. So if you want to do the walking version or the jumping version, that's up to you. 8 on each side whenever you're ready. Doesn't need to be a big jump. You're already on one leg, so if you're switching legs, you're already doing the work. Just really make sure that knee is nice and stable, not moving inward or outward. Use those arms to help you balance. Use this leg that's off the ground to help you balance. Once you've done your 8 on each side, you can take a little break. If you've been to a workout with me before, you know I like to stay moving in between. So I'll just be walking, we'll wait for everyone to catch up, and we'll get on to our next exercise. The next exercise we're gonna do is a shoulder press. So if you have some little dumbbells, you might wanna grab those. Like I said before, have some weights right here, some cans if you don't have dumbbells. Any household item will do. All right, looks like we are all finished up. So I'm gonna do these from a kneeling position just so you can see better. So I'm gonna be down on one knee, this knee is up. Got my cans here, palms facing forward, holding them, starting out here. I'm just pressing until my arms are straight up, and then bringing them back down and up, okay? We're gonna try to do 10 of those. If you can do more, awesome. If you can't get to 10, maybe next time, that's okay. Maybe you grabbed a weight that's a little too much for you. Just go until you're a little bit uncomfortable, but not in pain. As you can see, I'm doing these at a nice controlled pace on the way up and on the way down. Once you've done your 10, you can set these weights down, shake those arms out, grab some water, and then we're back to those skater jumps. We're gonna do each exercise 2 times today. And we got some new exercises. Nicely done. Good. I'll give you a few seconds. You can grab some water, find that nice space that you need for these skater jumps or skater steps. If you tried doing the jumping version before and it was too difficult, don't be afraid to do the stepping one, or maybe do one hopping, one stepping, one hopping. You can alternate, or there's always an option. Make sure you have something on either side of you. You can still hop, but you have something to catch so you're not too wobbly. Again, shooting for 8 on each side. You choose your variation. Go ahead. Nicely done. Looks like a lot of us are trying that hopping version. Love it. Good. And once you finish with that, if you have any weights that you want to grab for the shoulder press, remember those are next. You can grab those. Shoulder press is also one if you want to do it seated. If you have a chair or something, you're more than welcome to do it. You get the same exact thing out of it. All right. Looks like everyone is pretty much ready. Again, we're shooting for 10 of these. Our palms holding our weights are facing forward. Start here. Keep them moving at the same pace. Nice and slow on the way up and on the way down. Shooting for 10. Ready? Let's see it. Now that we're on our second set, if you get halfway through and your arms are too tired to do this correctly, drop them down, shake them out a little bit, and then jump back in. All right. When you are done with those, we're done with that first set of exercises. So we have 2 new ones next. Shake out your arms, grab some water. We will take a little bit of a break now before we start the next exercises. I'll give you a few seconds. Good. And if you ran away to grab water or something, we're going to start the next set in about 10 seconds. You do not need weight for this next one, not until our second exercise. All right, so we're going to do some half squats to a jump, or half squats and then up on your toes. So it'll look something like this. You don't need to go all the way to the ground. Just get into a half squat and you jump. Okay? So from the front, half squat, jump. And if you can't jump or it hurts your knees or anything else to jump, just go down and then up, push on your toes. You want to have a chair nearby just for a little extra support. Half squat, up on your toes. Okay, so you can try one out if you want to do the jumps, up on your toes, whatever you choose is okay. We're gonna try to do 10 of those. So if you're doing the jumps, you kind of wanna do them in a continuous motion. You can have a little breather in between, but it'll look like this. You come right back down into your half squat. Okay, so we're shooting for 10, whichever one you choose, let's see it. Use those arms, help them drive you up. Remember, you don't need to squat all the way down. And good. So a lot of you jumping, nice work. All right, next exercise, you might want some weights. So if you have those, you can go ahead and grab them. And particularly with this one, I like to do it one arm at a time. So if you only want to grab one weight, that's okay. All right, so I'll show you this one from the side. It's easier to see. So you're here, just standing, a little bend in your knee, hinging at the hips, so my back is still flat. It's not rounded, it's not arched. So you're here with your weight, and you're gonna push it back. So keeping the upper arm essentially in the same spot, just moving at the elbow, you'll feel a nice stretch in your tricep, behind your arm. If you don't feel it after the first one, you might not feel it until later. So let's shoot for 8 on each arm. Again, as you can see, my upper arm will pretty much stay the same. Maybe when I reach back, it'll move. I'm shooting for 8 on each arm. Once you've done your first arm, you can move to the second arm on your own. If you don't have a chair or anything, you can definitely do this from a standing position. Just hinge at the hips a little bit. Really keep your core nice and stable. Keep it in one spot. Good. And when you've done both arms, we are going back to those jump squats or the squats to up on your toes. So if you need to move anything, find some space, set your weights down. We'll get started in a few seconds here. All right, for those of you joining me, it looks like we're ready. We'll get started. So again, we're not squatting all the way down to the ground, just a nice quarter to a half squat and then up. And if you're doing the jumping ones, you can challenge yourself. Try to do them continuous. If you can't do that, no shame. Stopping and starting. Okay, shooting for 10. Whenever you're ready, let's go. Awesome job, everyone. We are done with those. You can cheer, you can pat yourself on the back. Okay, looks like we're ready to get into the tricep extensions. So again, I like to do these one arm at a time. You can do both arms at the same time, but I like to do one at a time, so it's up to you. Shooting for 8 on each arm. Again, we're here with our weight. It's a nice reach back. Make sure you're reaching straight back. Your arm is not coming out to the side. It should be going straight behind you. 8 each arm, whenever you're ready. And once you've done the first arm, if you're doing them single arm, you can switch on your own. Nice work. That concludes our upper and lower body exercises. We're going to do some core work. So if you need a second to make some space on the ground, grab a yoga mat. I'll give you some time to do that while I set up my camera. All right. About 15 more seconds. You can grab water, let your heart rate come down a little bit before we get into this core workout. All right, so the first one we're gonna do, you're gonna be on your back. And if you've been here with me before, you may have seen this one before. If not, you may not have seen it. So you're gonna start with your legs out, feet off the ground a few inches. And instead of just sitting there, we're gonna crisscross over under each leg, okay? So I'll let you kind of get into position here. I'll set a timer. We're gonna do it for 30 seconds. If you can't do it for 30 seconds, stop before it gets too uncomfortable. All right, and if you need to put your hands under your butt to help you keep your back more flat on the ground, go ahead and do that, and we'll get started in 3, 2, 1. Again, just crossing over, under, switching legs. If you need to stop, take a break for a few seconds, you can jump back in. We're about halfway there. In 3, 2, 1, good. Nice job, everyone. That one is tough. I know it looks pretty easy, looks kind of silly, but it does get tough after a while. All right, for this next one, you can actually sit up. We're gonna do some Russian twists, which I know most of you have probably done before, but if not, I will show you. So Russian twists, what you wanna do, you wanna be sitting, show you from the side first, actually. So you're sitting a little bit back on your tailbone, feet off the ground. And if you have a weight, you can use it. If not, you just move your hands and you're just moving side to side. Try to keep your feet and your legs in front of you. You don't want them moving. Just your upper part of your body is moving. Okay, so again, I'll start the timer. We'll do this one for 20 seconds. We'll get started in 3, 2, 1. So I'm gonna set the timer for 20 seconds. After 20 seconds, I'll let you know if you wanna go for another 10, I'll let it go to 30. And I'll let you know when we're done there. All right, so if you're tapping out, we're at 20 seconds. Otherwise, keep going. And 30 seconds is in 3, 2, 1. Good job, everyone. All right. We will go back into that first one where we're laying down on our back. So you can get situated again. I'll give you a few seconds rest in between right now, don't worry. After we've done these 2 core exercises twice, we'll go into a little bit of a stretch, a little cool down. And then I'll stay on after. We'll stop the recording. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to stay on. All right, let's get in position. We'll start in 3, 2, 1. Again, we're going for 30 seconds. Now that we're on our second set, I'll let you know when we're at 20 seconds in case this is too much. No need to push yourself through too much pain. And that's 20. We'll go 10 more in case you want to get to 30 seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Good. Nice job, everyone. And we're back to the Russian twist. We'll have a few seconds before we get started. All right, again, we'll do the same thing. I'll set the timer for 30. I'll let you know when we're at 20 seconds in case it's too much. If you want to stick it out for 30, I'll let you know when we get there too. We'll get started in 3, 2, 1. We're trying to keep our feet off the ground. If you're not able to do that, you can set them down and continue the same motion. Again, try to keep your legs kind of in the same spot. They might move a little bit just with your momentum, but you don't want them flailing all over. And that's 20 seconds. Almost there. Last exercise before we cool down in 3, 2, 1. Excellent. All right, I'll let you catch your breath, grab some water, and we'll get into a little cool down. Just a reminder, tomorrow, Friday morning, we have our 9 a.m. workout via Zoom, Facebook Live, all of that at 9 a.m. It's yoga. So don't forget to stop in for that one. It's one of our favorite workouts that we have throughout the week. All right, let's get into a bit of a cool down. So this first one, normally you would stand up and do it, but since we're already on the ground, we're gonna start right here. So you're gonna stay on one knee and kind of get into a lunge. So you can step this foot out a little bit more, pretend you're lunging. And then you're gonna reach back, lift this toe off the ground, and a little reach. You should feel a pull behind your leg. Just a nice little hold. Notice I'm not even touching my toes. You can rest your hands on your shin, on your knee if that's far enough. And then let's switch legs. So same thing, you're stepping out like you're doing a lunge, maybe stepping a little more since we're on our knee. Then you're gonna lean back, lift that toe up. You should feel stretch behind your leg, and just a little hold. You can't keep that toe up if that's too much. You can lower it a little bit. And good. All right, you can sit back down. We'll get our arms stretching a little bit. All right, so for the first one, you're gonna interlace your fingers, turn them out and give them a little push. Really try to pull those shoulders forward. Hold it for 5 to 10 seconds, and then relax. Good, and you can keep your fingers right here because in the next one, we're gonna do the same thing, except we're gonna reach to the sky. Try to pull back maybe a little bit. So up and then maybe a little bit back. You'll feel a little different stretch. If you wanna lean a little bit to the side or this side, you'll get a different stretch. Whatever your body is telling you needs stretching right now. Good, you can bring your arms down. All right, since we're already moving those arms, cross one arm across your body, grab it with the other one, maybe give your elbow a little tug. Nice little hug here if you need to hold onto your shoulder. Keep this arm up. Doesn't take much, you don't need to pull it way back, just nice cross body. And let's switch arms. So same thing, grab that shoulder, or that elbow. We're just coming across our body, give a little tug, nothing too strenuous. Good. And then just from a seated position again, let's grab this quad, grab this foot so you get a nice quad stretch. If you need to lay down and give it a little pull, this one you should feel a stretch right here. So from the side, you're gonna lean on your elbow, so you're grabbing it. Try to keep those knees pretty close together. Don't pull it way back here. Trying to pull that foot towards your butt. If you can't get that far, that's okay. It should just be until you feel a stretch. And then let's switch sides. Again, thank you for coming today. Next workout is tomorrow, Friday at 9 a.m. We have some yoga. And then Saturday at 10 a.m. Love that Saturday workout. But thank you again for being here today. Enjoy the rest of your week and your weekend. It looks like, at least if you're up here in the UP, it's going to be some nice weather. So get outside and enjoy it. And yeah, I'll stop the recording. So if you have any questions, you can hang out for a minute. Thank you.